What's up, YouTube? Look at this shit! It's so sexy! That is the Anderson composite hood, trunk lid with the baby spoiler. This is the heat extractor hood, and we're going to put these two things on right now. I'd just like to thank Edge Autosport for getting a hold of these for me. Good shipping, good prices, can't really complain. So check them out, edgeautosport.com. First things first, do not run these hydraulic lifts with the carbon fiber hood. You could put extra stress right in here and over time crack it. So I'm actually trading these with a friend of mine for the factory stick. So once again, don't use these with a carbon fiber hood. Use a panel popper, and we're going to pop out all these pins for this underhood heat shield thing. Once you get all those out, the black piece will just come out. Set it down on the floor. Now we're going to disconnect the windshield wiper fluid. So we're going to pop all of these out the same way, and then we're going to disconnect the wipers right there and right there. Use the panel popper, take this little weather stripping, and use a panel popper to pop each one of these pegs out. Use a 13mm and loosen up all the hood bolts. Use a 10mm, remove the hood latch. So once you have your sexy wife help you change the hoods, I'm just going to use these long enough to mock everything up and get the hood lined up, because it helps hold it up, because as of right this second I don't own a hood prop. So I'm going to just sort of tighten these down, check the fitment, and see if I have to, wiggle it in, out, left and right a little bit. Put your hood latch on the same way you took the other one off. Tighten it down. Remember, this is all carbon fiber. You're going to not torque this all crazy retarded, just like if it was fiberglass, because you can just crack it where the stud is. On the new hood, there's nowhere to put this weather stripping, and to line it up and do all that would be kind of crazy. So what I'm going to do is cut these tabs or rip these tabs out. I'm going to clean all this shit. I'm going to clean this area all the way over. Then I'm going to use like a two-way sticky tape and mount it this way. So it'll be, like that all the way around. So then when you close the hood contacts the top fluffy part, and it's good. I used the RTV, held it down good, and I put it in the same area. Just make sure right here, because this part comes off. So take a razor blade and cut it there. We're gonna need to get these windshield wipers out. So you grab this and pop this little tab out of this notch, and then it pulls right out. You're going to take the wiper parts now, feed it through, and you want to get this lip on the part you popped out over there, put it in, and then push up this, and that's when you heard the click, and now these things are in there. Don't forget to drill the holes here for these two Christmas trees to hold that piece in real nice. When you slide in the windshield washer nozzles and you put the hose back, I just used alcohol, rubbing alcohol, clean these spots, and then I used the clips for like the Christmas lights at Walmart, and they've been working great. Even with the under hood heat, everything's been great. For the trunk, we're going to start by popping out all these clips all the way around. Got some up here. These little stubs will just unscrew from these two big holes. So just unscrew it counterclockwise. This part will just pop right off. There's a lip here. So you just lift the plastic lips on both sides off of this plastic lip and it'll pop right off. Now unplug the wiring harness and pop all the wiring harness clips off. Use a 10mm and remove the 3 trunk latch nuts that hold this assembly on. Use a 10mm and loosen all the trunk nuts that hold it on, 2 on each side. Now that they're all loose, get a buddy. Have your buddy hold the trunk so you don't smash it into your quarter panel or back window or any of that. Remove the bolts. And then just put the trunk off to the side. Put the trunk latch on. Put the factory nuts back on. And don't go crazy torquing this down. You just want to make them nice and snug. The last thing you want to have happen is rip a stud out of the carbon. That would be a bad day. Use a 7/32 to remove the backup camera. For the rear view camera, I had to sand the hole a little bit, very, very slightly, in order to get the camera to fit in nice. So just do it a little bit, check it, a little bit, check it, a little bit, check it, because you don't want to put too much. One thing to note, the camera doesn't sit flush tight against the deck lid like it does on the factory one. So use some painter tape, the blue tape, to flush out the camera, and then fill this in with RTV, like the right stuff, which is a thick RTV, and then let it sit. It'll be watertight and it'll keep the camera flush on the back of the trunk, because if you put this all the way on, it'll be sticking out the back side looking stupid. So just keep that in mind. So that's where my camera is going to sit, just like that. So it's pretty flush. Sticks out about as much as factory now. Now that the camera is RTV'd in, everything's plugged in, the wiring harness is pushed on into the holes that they have. Next, I'm going to grab the carpet and start putting, well, I need to feed this through first. So that gets fed through. And then I'm going to start putting the clips in. Put all the clips in. Push this on, it'll lock. And then hook this emergency exit thing. Now we're going to put the bump stops in. Bump stops are in. Now we're going to go to the factory trunk. And we're going to remove the plug here and the plug over here. It looks much cleaner now with the plugs in. So from underneath, the thing looks factory. Very nice. So this is what it looks like. Ooh, it looks nice. Like that. I think it looks really good. I like the profile. It's not too much of a wing, just enough. So from the back, that's what it's going to look like. My review on the Fitment is pretty good. I don't really have too many problems. It's a little close here. Fits right here. Looks fine everywhere else. This one little corner sticks down a little, but other than that, everything else looks good. I don't know how they do the molding or how the production works, but I feel like this corner is a little bit twisted downwards, like this end is a little shifted down because it fits perfect everywhere except for this 2 inches here. But everywhere else looks great. Looks great up here on both sides. But yeah, so fitment for me is like a 4 out of 5 stars. It's beautiful. I don't see any like crazy imperfections in the pattern, in the gel. It all looks uniform, like the way the pattern comes on an angle. It comes over across and just carries on. It's not like it's coming here and then it's shifted a little, or it's going the other way. None of that shit. It looks good. So cosmetically, I would give it a 5 out of 5, realistically. No blemishes whatsoever. My body shop didn't really have to do anything. They just scuffed it up, put some clear coat on it, and then gave it back to me. For fitment as well, like I said, you have to do a baby amount of sanding here to get the camera to come through, but that's not a big deal. I wouldn't even mark off a star for that. So my 1 star off is just for this driver's side corner. It doesn't really line up as good as a passenger side one. So 4 out of 5.